In this video, we will discuss the use of assert statements in Dart programming language. Assert statement is one of the control flow statements in Dart. Assert statements are used for checking if a condition is true or false and to either continue the program execution flow or to stop it. Assert statements are mostly used during development to check whether a statement is factually correct or not. Assert statements are widely used in test files to check whether a statement is factually correct or not. If a statement is not factually correct as per conditions specified in assert statement, then program flow is disrupted. To better understand assert statement, we will take a look at various programs that make use of assert statement. The program given on our screen makes use of successful assert statements. On line 3, we have variable number 1 whose value is assigned as integer 1. On line 4, we have our first assert statement, which checks whether number 1 is not null. If this condition is false, then the error message number 1 cannot be null is displayed on standard output. On line 5, we have another assert statement which checks if number 1 is equal to 1. This check is done using the equality check operator double equals. If this assertion is false, then the error message number 1 should be 1 is displayed on standard output. On line 6, we have another assert statement and it converts number 1 into a string and checks if it is equal to string 1. If this assertion is false, then the error message number 1.toString should be string 1 is displayed on standard output. On line 7, we have another assert statement and it checks if number 1 plus 1 is equal to integer 2. If this assertion is false, then the error message number 1 plus 1 should be 2 is displayed on standard output. If all assertion checks have passed successfully, then program flow will not be disrupted and the message all assertion checks have passed will be displayed on standard output. When we run above program, it prints the message all the assertion checks have passed. So from the output of above program, it is clear that the program makes use of successful assert statements, and because of this, no error message is displayed on standard output. Because of no failed assertion, the program flow is not disrupted. Now in this program, we will take a look at an example of assert statement with a failed assertion. If, for example, an assertion fails to evaluate properly, then an exception is thrown. Given below is an example that demonstrates how this works. Program given below intentionally makes use of a faulty add function. This add function performs subtraction instead of addition and outputs an incorrect result. So in this program on line 5 we have the faulty add function and it accepts integer a and b. After accepting integer a and b, it returns the subtraction of integers a and b. Inside the main function, we have an assert statement that calls the add function with integers 2 and 1. The assert statement checks whether addition of integers 2 and 1 is 3. If this assertion is not true, then the error message addition of 2 and 1 must be 3 is displayed on standard output. When we run above program, it prints following output. The program has an unhandled exception on line 8 because of a failed assertion. The error message addition of 2 and 1 must be 3 is also displayed in the program output. So from above program, it is clear that assert statement is very useful for checking if specific parts of your code are factually correct or not. We will take a look at another example of assert statement, and this statement does not make use of error message. The second argument passed to assert statement is an error message. This error message is optional and can be omitted. If you do not pass an error message, then the assert statement will try to generate its own error message. If an assertion fails, then generated error message will be displayed on the standard output. So the program displayed on our screen is similar to the previous program. On line 5, we have the faulty add function that returns the subtraction instead of addition. Inside the main function, we have an assert statement, but this time the assert statement does not make use of error message. From the output of above program, it is clear that assertion on line 10 is not true. From the output of above program, it is clear that if no error message is passed to assert statement, then error message for the exception is automatically generated. Assertions work differently in development mode and production mode. Development-only tools such as DAR-DevC keep assertions enabled. However, in production mode, assert statements are ignored. In production code, assert statements do not have any effect. We hope that you have found this video useful for understanding assert statements in Dart programming language.